action! Hello everyone and welcome to Wolff&Schafe podcast. My name is Magdalena and this is my little kitty co-host Domarat. Meow! This is episode 26. We have a Tuesday, July the 19th of 2016, and it's summer. As you can see, it's very hot here. It's around 30 degrees today, 33 tomorrow. I might check how many Fahrenheit it is. So those of you who measure in Fahrenheit could have an idea. But yeah, it's pretty hot, it's pretty sunny, and it's summer. Well, if you're a returning viewer, thank you so much for coming back. I'm happy to have you here. And if you're a returning viewer, thank you so much for checking out my podcast. This is a knitting, spinning and dyeing podcast in Switzerland, in a little town of Adliswil that is located near Zurich. So you can find me on Instagram under my full name, which is Magdalena Wolff with double F. And yes, if you enjoy my show, please subscribe on YouTube, so you will be up to date with any new episodes. And my show notes are always below in the video description. We're having, if you're an Instagram user, you can take part in a Wolff&Schafe moon giveaway. We're having a giveaway till the end of July, so I think I will draw the winner on August the 1st, which is Swiss national holiday. It's Independence Day and everybody's celebrating, so I thought, yeah, I will celebrate too by bringing the prize to you. And this is the prize, and oh gosh, dropped the label. So anyway, this is my label here. Okay, I think it's pretty visible. And this is the prize, and this is my new base. It's called Moon, and it's 75% superwash ultrafine merino, which makes it very soft, and 25% mulberry silk, which adds to the luster, and it gives this luxurious feel to the yarn. And the colorway is Soul Society, which I absolutely love. It's a bit hard to describe colorway, but I call it icy blue gray with some brownish and reddish speckles here and there, not too much. So yay! If you want to win this prize, please find a post by me on Instagram about the giveaway, and you're supposed to do 3 things. Well, first step is to like the photo and follow me on Instagram. The second one is to answer a question, because I'm very curious which colorway from my shop, or you can also say from previous episodes of the podcast, which of my repeatable colorway you like the most of yarn, because my fibers are one of a kinds. So yeah, so you can go to my Etsy shop, look there and answer the question, And the third is a classic one, which is tag someone, tag a friend, so they can also join in the fun. So yay, this is available for grabs, and I think we could start with knitting, shall we? So first up, a little update on my Mira sweater. I am close, I'm not there yet, but yes, the sleeves. I just wanted to say that I have worked on them a bit. So, oh, they got totally tangled. Okay, so now I have this much of the sleeves. They start here. So is this much. I have markers for my decreases, so it will be easy to spot them. And also, just for technicalities, it's Mira pattern by Justyna Lorkowska, also known as Latte's Knits, on Ravelry, and I suppose on Instagram as well. And the yarn is Malabrigo Mechita in Sirena's colorway, and I'm knitting on 3.75mm needles on my Knit Pro interchangeables, metal ones, which I really like. They are not my favorite of favorites, but I enjoy working with them. I'm in general a metal needle fan. I tried to become friends with wooden needles, but it didn't work really. So yes, this is Mira, a tiny update. About this project, as you can see, I'm working on 2 sleeves at a time, like I'm used to with my socks as well. And I stumbled upon a problem with tangling ends, because I'm also knitting from one cake, so like both strands are from the same cake, just one is from the center, one is from the outside. But because it's not socks, because socks are not connected to each other, right? The sleeves are connected by the body of the sweater. So you have to be very careful not to get completely tangled. And it took me some time to untangle and then untangle again until I figure out how I am supposed to do the knitting. So the yarn is not tangled all around the sleeves. But other than that, it's a great method, because yeah, I have exactly the same number of rows on both sleeves, and it just works for me. I just had to figure out what to do, so I'm not like because that was very annoying. And so yeah, my other project you're probably familiar with, it's my Ashling shawl, also by Justyna. Hi! So yes, I did a little bit of a progress. You have my progress keeper here. And I entered the 5th section of raindrops, which are these teal ones here. And I have decided to skip the last section of raindrops, because I want a smaller shawl. And I hope it will look good. I think it's big enough, and the border is quite large in itself, and then it will be blocked, so I suppose it will be okay. I hope Justyna won't be mad at me for making it smaller. She completely loves huge shawls, but I don't enjoy wearing them. Knitting is a different subject here, but wearing them, yeah, I prefer something smaller because larger shawls tend to like unravel, untie themselves and then hang, and then when I'm reaching for something they are like hang like that in front of my face, and I don't like that. And the yarn I'm using is my hand-dyed yarn, which is Wolff&Schafe paw, which is actually sock yarn, but I had it like almost the whole skein left after finishing my first Wildesmeer. So yeah, I decided to use it up, and I think I will be okay if I skip the last segment, I mean the raindrop segment. And for the garter intervals and for the border I have, oh, and this is Vodnik colorway, and this is on my Belladonna base, which is merino nylon cashmere blend, and the colorway is honey. So, and it's very soft and squishy. Yeah, and my needles are 3.5 millimeters, I suppose. I think so. And my progress keepers is a keeper here. I showed you before. I got it from Barbara from Knitting I Love, and my stitch marker here. Ah, everything is tangled because of the changing of colors. And I didn't weave them in because I was traveling and it was not very convenient to to snip the ends and then having them everywhere on you. So yeah, this is cute. I wonder if I can zoom. I think now it's clear. Yeah. So it has a double purpose. It can be, if this way up, it can be progress keeper, but you can also switch it so it becomes a stitch marker. Clever, huh? Yeah, and I got this as a present from Barbara, so thank you again. Okay, so this is my Ashley, and yeah, once I finish the last section, I will get to the exciting part, to the border, which is very beautiful. If you haven't seen how it looks like, you can check it out. Just find the pattern on Ravelry and you will see it's beautiful. So what else? Oh, there is this project I mentioned some episodes ago that I have started, well, a project not as in a knitting project, but as organizing an event or something like that. I started knitting, I knit a pair of knitted knockers. If you don't know, if you're not familiar, it's these are knitted prostheses for breast cancer survivors, and they are very great because you get them for free because they are done for charity, and they are easy to wash. They don't make you sweat that bad as those medical ones, and they are light, well, and pretty, and they're knitted. Wow! So there's this page, knitted knockers. .org or something like this. I'm sure you can find it. And I here have a friend, Kim, with whom I'm planning to start an event of knitting them. but we decided to start in autumn, because in order to get as many people as possible for this purpose, we thought that starting before summer holidays is not the best idea. So we didn't want to do like a false start, and we are just preparing, like thinking about how to organize things. She used to be a social worker, so she knows stuff about organizing, and I'm the the technician here with the knitting. So yeah, I just we decided that we should start, and well, we have many ideas, but one of them is to knit 20 pairs for one clinic with which we could start like cooperation. So yeah, so I started again on this, and there are some knitters already at the ready that will start during the summer as well. And in autumn we want to just also find people who even don't know how to knit, but they want to be helpful and they want to learn. So I will be holding like workshops for them, so they could just learn and join in our action. So yeah, I just started. I'm planning this to be cup C. On the Knitted Knockers page you can find the pattern for them, and it has to be cotton or something that is not wool. That makes me sad, because I completely adore knitting with wool and I completely hate knitting with cotton, but we have to take into consideration that this won't irritate any skin. And also I had to find cotton soft enough, because there are some yarns, that cotton yarns, that are, well, not soft at all. So first I went and started, you know, touching yarn in the yarn store, and I found this. Oh, excuse me. So yeah, so this is the yarn that I'm using right now. Is it visible? Okay. And it's by Schahenmeyer, Cotton Time, and the colorway is 66. But and it's very nice and soft and available, and it used to be available in my local yarn store. But the lady there told me, unfortunately, they won't be making it anymore. So I have to find another yarn that will be soft enough. So this week I'm planning on going to a larger yarn store in Zurich and start fondling yarn there. So then I can recommend yarn to other people who want to join our Knitted Knockers. And yeah, mostly I chose where is it? I chose some light colors, like pastels. My previous pair was this lovely pale pink, and I just grabbed any more or less pastel colors that they had in the store that they have left, and these were like this really nice pale blue and lavender. And the colorways are 22 and 45, if you're curious. So yeah, they were on sale because it was like the end of the, not the brand, but the line, right? They won't be making them anymore. But yeah, I'm using lovely DPNs. I highly recommend them if you don't know them. These are Adi, I think Colibri, and they are yeah, each needle is in a different color. But what I like about them most is that they have different tips. One tip is more blunt and the other is sharper. And I love using the sharp tips. They are just perfect for me. But I know it really depends on the person, whether they prefer blunter or sharper tips. So yeah, whichever you prefer, you can use that tip and it's awesome. So I knit this on 4 needles and these are 3.5, 20 centimeters. How many it is in inches? I don't know. But anyway, they are also pretty affordable. The price is not too high. For example, if you wanted carbons, they would most probably be like double the price. So, and they are light. They are very light and nice to the touch. And even though I do not like working with cotton, they make it well, working on the project nicer. Because my first pair of knitted knockers, I knitted them on wooden needles. Also, oh no, these were Knit Pro, like wooden colorful. I don't know if it's symphony, but yeah. Anyway, that was hard because wooden needles are less slippery and cotton is also less slippery than wool, so it was hard work. But with these, yay, it's much better. And this weight, it's actually, I would say it's a DK weight, something like this. So yay! But that's not all. I have another knitting project, and it even is not a new project. My Cozy Memories blanket is alive! Well, I can't really call it a blanket because I haven't yet completed even one row. But yes, I was working on it and it looks like this. So new additions are, last one was this one, and this is the new addition, and it is my handspun Falkland by Porpoise fur, and how to separate this from spinning, I don't know. Maybe I will just mix it in. So this is my 106 grams of Falkland. It was the Ceridwen colorway. Maybe I don't know how focused it is, maybe. Okay, now. So this is 2-ply. I did a 2-ply. This card is just so that I know what I have here. I just wrote it down because of course I lost the tag, the original tag. Meh. But anyway, this is the 2-ply, 106 grams, and I had it written somewhere. I think it's 560 meters. So it's pretty long. I was surprised that it took me so long to ply it, but then when I counted how many meters I have, I was like, oh. because I thought, you know, around 100 grams, it will be around 400 meters, which is like typical for a fingering weight, because that's what I thought it will be. But, you know, I'm still a beginner, so of course it turned out it's closer to lace than to fingering, but it's so soft. It just, oh, just so soft. And because I was double plying it, I had some of the yarn of one single left on one of the bobbins, so I decided to Navajo ply them, because if you're not familiar, Navajo plying technique allows you to use up all your singles, because you're not plying singles from separate bobbins, but you use a single from one bobbin to create a 3-ply yarn, which is pretty ingenious, I must say. And what it also manages to do, so the square I have knitted from that leftover that I never applied, and this is how much I have left. Not much, really, teeny tiny bit left, but it's still soft. So what it allows you to do is to keep the gradient, like with this one you can see that I had different, at some point I had different colors on these two yarns from two bobbins, so it creates, some people might like that too, it's also very pretty. Like you can see that there are two colors in the strand, right? But on the other hand, on this one, you don't see that. Everything is together. Like you can keep the gradient and subtle changes of color. So everything has its use. And yeah, I love the effect. I think this square is just so beautiful and also so soft. I'm very happy with it. And then I plied, because I had some also a single left on my fake bobbin, which is the toilet paper roll, like you know, the cardboard from the inside. I had some left from my earlier project, which was this one, and then yay, let's Navajo ply it. And that's what I did, and again it created beautiful gradients, like changes of color. This one was from rolags. I think it's mostly merino, from rolags by the Woolly Witch in Folks the Phoenix colorway. So it's Harry Potter inspired colorway. And I just love how they play together. This is just amazing. I am delighted with these two hand spun. So yay! And finally, the last square, it will be the last square of the row, because I have decided on 10 squares per row. So this one will be the 10th one. And it's actually some leftovers from my first ever toe up socks and first ever fingering weight socks, because my first pair of socks was knitted on, I think, on worsted weight. I found some, I was a bit, you know, worried whether I will manage to knit something as difficult as socks. At least that's what I thought at the time. So I found a pattern that used, that was for first timers. I think the pattern is something like easy peasy socks for first timers or something like that. It's a free pattern on Ravelry, you can check it out. And Yeah, so the author suggested worsted weight yarn because this way you don't get discouraged because your sock grows much faster. So that was my first pair of socks, and my second ever pair of socks was from this one. And it's self-striping. You can see that it started here. It started from this pale green, and now I'm getting into pink. And it's, I think it's, yes, it's Zitron trekking color, and some number name that I don't remember, but yeah, I really liked these colors. They reminded me of caramel flavored Zap ice cream that I used to eat when I was a kid. And yeah, so this will be my last square in the row. That's exciting. I mean, really. Also including my handspun, it's really, it really makes me want to work on this project. Oh yeah, another thing, because I haven't worked on this project for so long, I of course forgot how it was supposed to go, because you see, these squares, the diagonal line goes this way, and yeah, now again it goes this way, because I decided, okay, here I made a mistake, and then I decided, okay, so then the rest of the row will go this way. And this is just me. I'm sometimes just distracted, and you know, it happens, but it's also, this is how I am, and that's how my blanket will be. The problem was that I hit the ends that were dangling here, so I did not realize. Some of them I hid, some of them I haven't. But anyway, I did not realize until it was too late, and I didn't want to rip back, that I started on the wrong side. But oh well. I'm very happy with how it looks like. It's so, yeah, patchworky. And yeah, I'm knitting on 2 DPNs. These are Knit Pro Zings, and it's 3 millimeters, so I guess it's around size 5 US, maybe? 4. I'm not sure. Well, anyway, you can see it's pretty thin, and it has this lovely dark olive green color. By the way, about Knit Pro Zings, I know they've been really popular recently, but I have also learned from a friend that she had awful problems with the sizing. Meaning she had a pair of circular needles, and they would be different sizes, and not even the size that was written on the box. So please be careful. If you buy them, just try a needle size measure, whether they are the same size, and yeah, they are very pretty. I don't like that they are too blunt for me, the tips, but other than that, they are really nice to work with, and it's a pity. Maybe they had, it's possible that they had like a batch of mistakenly labeled needles, or I don't know. But yeah, it's pretty sad. And this is it for my knitting. Now it's time for a sip of tea. Oh. And the tea is tea of Chillon, which is this castle on the picture. Yeah. And I've been there And I will talk more about it in the last segment, which is life, because we went on a trip with Gleb last weekend, and that's where I bought this tea. It's pretty nice. It's written here that it's black tea with rose petals and corn flour, but I don't really feel the rose petals. It's just nice black tea. But yay! So, oh yes, I forgot last week to show you something really lovely that I got from a customer, a person who bought my yarn, and because she's Polish and she lives near Warsaw, we decided to meet in person so she wouldn't, she could meet me and she wouldn't have to pay for the shipping. And and I got a present from her. Can you believe it? It's just so amazing and cute. It's a wolf. It's a felted little tiny stitch marker wolf. I am speechless. I think she didn't make it herself, but it's for sure it's handmade, and I'm just oh my god! Can you see it? Can you see it? No, it can't focus like that. Yeah, but anyway, it just blew me away. Oh, I'm too big now. Sorry. It just blew me away. It was so sweet. Thank you, Kate, Kasia. Thank you. It just yeah, and we were on this knitting meeting that I mentioned last episode, and and I was just saying about something about fabrics, for example, project bags, that you never can find anything with cute wolves. If you happen to find something, it's usually those cool, like realistic wolves, or there are like hundreds of patterns with cute little foxes, but never wolves. And then she takes it out of her bag and she says it's for me, and I was like, oh my god, it's just so amazing. Thank you so much. He will be here together with the mother. So yeah, so this is a thing I wanted to show you, but there is another thing I wanted to show. Oh, by the way, I forgot. This is the leftover of my Folks the Phoenix hand spun, and I had like 11 grams only. It was really small. So yeah, this is how much I have left. But I'm digressing. So yeah, recently I was trying to learn something about how you design lace, and it's pretty difficult, at least for me. But anyway, I have this book, which I received as a present from my grandma. She used to use it, and then she gave it to me because she's so delighted that I knit too. Like, we are two in the family that knit, and she's so proud and happy that she gave it to me. And it's a book from, I think, yeah, from 1989. So pretty old, and can show you because it's interesting also in terms of fashion. It has the title is Lace Stitches, and it has many lace stitches, and then it has some patterns included as well, and you can see like, you know, even the makeup used to be different. It's the end of the 80s, right? So these are the patterns. most of them include also crochet, because it was presumed that if you know how to knit, you also know how to crochet, right? Well, I don't. But anyway, quite a lot of these patterns. This one is cute. And but what I really wanted to show you is, yeah, there, like, here you have instructions, and the stitches are in black and white. They're really nice stitches. But what's a problem here is that in Polish we don't have, and it's a reason why I prefer to use a pattern in English, even if there is one in Polish. We don't have established like these terms like SSK or K2TOG, like for knit together. In English it's like everyone uses the same, but in Polish everything is either some made up new abbreviations or are just descriptions, which makes it really hard to follow. But that's not what I wanted to say, actually. So here are some various lace net stitches shown and described, and what made me laugh really hard, there is lace net type 3, and there's a description for whom it's recommended. So first in Polish: łatwy splot, polecany osobom mniej wytrwałym, niecierpliwym, roztargnionym I nieco leniwym. Which means it's an easy stitch recommended for knitters who are less persevering, impatient, distracted, and a bit lazy. And I mean, really, in a pattern book, you get something like that. Okay, you can try this stitch, but it's totally for lazy asses. I thought I would die out laughing. But yeah, it's a very interesting book. I have some problems with repeating these, recreating these stitches. For example, there is a mistake in the first one. They show you this pattern. It's like a V-shaped, but then I started to work it and it turned out that it should actually be like this, like a mountain. So yeah. But anyway, this is what I wanted to show you. So there's another thing I wanted to share with you. Just recently, YouTube suggested that I watch some podcasts, as it does suggest you some videos. So it suggested that I watch Sweet Sparrow Knits podcast, and it's the hostess is Julie. Hi Julie, and I really like her show. It's yeah, she is also a yarn dyer. She dyes beautiful yarn, and I really love her personality. It's very nice to listen to her, and yeah, if you haven't yet, you should totally check her out. It's, as I said, Sweet Sparrow Knits podcast, and it's lovely. And I have subscribed. So we can finally go to spinning. So first up, I can show you that I made some progress on my Turkish spindle. Yes, so it's the Woolly Witch. I think it's merino with bamboo, pumpkin spice latte colorway. It's only this one rolag, and I want to incorporate this single into my Cozy Memories blanket. And it's my wolfish spindle, if you can see, it's with a wolf. But alas, what happened? I just realized it has chipped, and it made me very sad. Because yeah, it's my wolfish spindle made for me, and well, it doesn't make any problems with spinning. It just a little bit chipped, but the thing is, I didn't realize it happened, like the moment when it happened, and I don't know whether I have done that or maybe my son, when he's once of the times when he snatched it from my hand and like ran around. I don't know, I just didn't realize it until very recently. So yeah, poor wolfish spindle. And yeah, I'm slowly working on this, because I only work on this like from time to time, and I just grab it, spin a bit, and then my husband enters the room. Oh, you're spinning again. I'm like, but anyway, other than that, I have already showed you my Falkland by Porpoise fur, and in my other Navajo plied Fox the Phoenix by the Woolly Witch. But I have also, during my trip, I have also spun just a teeny tiny bit in the castle. This castle. At the end of the show, I will probably put some pictures from our trip, so you will see me spinning there. But it was just so much fun. I just did it for the fun of it. And sadly, no dyeing today, this week. I was busy doing other stuff, simply. And last week, yeah, it's already Tuesday, so it was last week, I put in the shop, my Wolff&Schafe Etsy shop, I put all my hand-dyed fibers. So if you're interested, take a look. They are all one-of-a-kinds, and I have various breeds of sheep. So I have Blue-Faced Leicester, I have Polworth, I have Shetland, I think I have one Falkland too. So yeah, feel free to check it out. And as I mentioned before, I just needed a day with no downpour to make the pictures, and my better scales that I have here in Switzerland to weigh all the braids that I had. Because when I was dividing them, because I ordered, for example, 300 grams of Corriedale, and then it came in one bundle, so in one well, everything connected, right? So I had to divide it, and then I didn't have a very precise scale, so I have very not really even braids. So, but I faithfully write everything down how much they weigh, so you can know. It's also, some of them are pretty small, so it might be a good thing for like a beginner spinner to have some fun and not invest in a like whole 100-gram braid. And yes, so I was busy doing other stuff, and I hope I will be dyeing this week some more and some yarn, because I do miss dyeing yarn, because it's my like main product, and I love it the most. I love dyeing fibers as well, but yarn is yarn. That's it. Okay, so I think only last segment is left, which is live. And as I mentioned before, I went with Gleb for a romantic weekend, because our son is with his grandparents right now, so we just could go somewhere and have a romantic weekend. And we chose a town in the French-speaking part of Switzerland, located at Lake Geneva, like next to Lake Geneva. We had a wonderful view from our room. We went there for like Airbnb room, and there was a lot of lavender blooming around, and the lake and the mountains. It was just amazing. And on Saturday we went to see the local castle, which is Castle Chillon, as I showed you here on the tee. Yeah. And Lord Byron got inspired by it. He visited it, and he got inspired by a story of a prisoner there, so he wrote a very, very famous poem, The Prisoner of Chillon. And so he is here on the tee. And I suppose he was together with the Shelleys, meaning Percy Shelley, the poet, and his wife Mary Shelley, the famous author of Frankenstein. So he's here. And there are like quotes from them about the castle. And I love everything that is old. I love ancient times. I adore Middle Ages. It's just so fascinating. And this castle, it could easily appear in, for example, Game of Thrones. It was so impressive. It's built on a rock that is like a tiny island. So it didn't need an artificial, how you call this? Well, you know what I mean. Around the castle, water that you first dig, and then you pour water inside. So it's more difficult for the enemy to enter. So it had a natural one. Amazing views from there. And what's interesting, it looked quite compact from the outside, but once you got in there and started walking through all the rooms and staircases, it just grew. It's bigger on the inside. And we borrowed the audio guide, and it was a very, very good choice, because we got some nice information from there. And if you are anywhere near there, it's a town near Montreux, if I pronounce it right. And it's awesome. It's just awesome. And then I couldn't help myself, and I had to spin a bit there, because that's what I do. And the next day we took a ferry that did a little circle on the lake, And it was amazing too, because not only the views were wonderful, you could also have like lunch on the ferry, but the inside looked like taken from, I don't know, Agatha Christie times. It was just amazing. It looked so great, and I had great fun. And then when we arrived to Montreux, we got on the train up to do a little hike. I was not at my best on that day. I didn't feel very well, but so we did only a little bit of hiking. But the views were just stunning. The weather was perfect. Most of our path was in the woods, which was great, because if not for that, we would totally be overheated. But yeah, we enjoyed it. And oh, what else? Great food. Those of you who follow me on Instagram have probably seen my pot full of mussels in white wine and some potato chips. That was funny. And I ate them all. I just ate a full pot of mussels and I love them. I really do. I couldn't stop myself. What else? Oh, last week I talked about how I liked the character from Once Upon a Time, Rumpelstiltskin, and I have realized that this character is led by I think it got this in the show. It got divided to who is going to write the script for the episode. It depended on which character's arc it would be. So I discovered that all Rumpelstiltskin's episodes were written by Jane Espenson, and I was like, what? I know her. She's like, I know her from Buffy the Vampire Slayer. It's a show that I completely love it to death. And yeah, so no wonder they are so good, because she's good. And as I mentioned before, the actor, I forgot to check his name again. But yeah, you can check it easily. Other than that, I'm just finishing listening to Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows, which makes me sad because I loved it so much. I mean, I know the story. I read the whole like series 2 or 3 times, but yeah, I enjoyed this audiobook so much. So now I will be wondering what to listen to now. And because I had some audiobooks that did not delight me at all, and yeah, if you can recommend something, please do. Yeah, what else? Oh, I know it's silly, but and that you can get it in different places than a castle, like a castle souvenir shop, but I was there, it was there, and I bought this pouch. It will be my handy notions bag. You might know this this series is it's called Gorgeous, and it's written some special way. I have it because I bought this and excuse me, and this cute diary. So it's written Gorguss, and the company is called Santoros, and they have as their logo they have a bull, and it so happens that a bull, meaning Taurus, is my zodiac sign, so yeah, it matches, right? So these little girls are so cute. They are. In this cute little diary, it has like various colored themes here, like with butterflies or with a leaf or flowers. Yeah, it's awesome. And the first time I stumbled upon this series was when my dear friend Mechita gifted me some of their notebooks and a tin box. So yeah, I also think of her when I look at this. So I think that is all for today. Thank you so much for joining me during this summer day, or if it's not summer in where you're watching, well, in my summer day. Happy knitting, have a wonderful week, and we will see you next time. Yeah, bye!